If you're a busy man with a lot of fat to lose, the goal is not cutting as many calories as you can. Your first phase is fat loss, but fat loss does not have to be a punishment. Don't fall for the mistake where you try to prove to yourself that you're serious by barely eating any food. What you need is to build a plan that you can consistently repeat. And the sad truth is that most guys hear fat loss and build the most aggressive plan possible. They barely eat, they run on the treadmill at every gym session, and they just try to win with willpower. And that way, you'll feel serious for about 3 days, then work gets busy, hunger gets loud, dinner gets messy, and you end up exactly where you were before, if not worse. And that is not because you're weak, but it's because your plan was built like you could revolve your whole life around just that. And we both know that's not true. So your first mistake is not willpower or discipline. It's building something realistic that will actually work. Understand that repeatable matters more than aggressive. Also because aggressive would actually do you more harm than good. A deficit just means that you have to consume less calories than your body expends. But what matters is not how aggressive your deficit is. What matters is how repeatable the plan is. Because when you make a plan so aggressive that you start dreading every single day, that is not your plan. Instead, as a useful starting point, just find your maintenance calories and take off 300 to 500 calories from that. And that's an actual starting point. That deficit will get you the results you want with consistency, but it will still give you the energy to train, work, sleep properly, and live life like normal. Because the goal isn't the cleanest diet on earth of salad and vegetables. You just need a diet with high protein and low enough calories to move the scale but let you live life as normal. Truth is, a repeatable deficit usually breaks when the plan has no anchors. And that's how men with packed schedules fuck their fat loss plan. Not because they can't lose weight, but because they think going through the day without eating is a good thing, and then they find themselves making decisions late at night with their hunger through the roof. Because if breakfast is random, lunch is tiny, and snacks are whatever you can find, how do you honestly expect dinner in the night to go? That's when portions get weird. That's when takeout starts to sound reasonable. And that's when you convince yourself that you deserve it. Instead, try a better plan that has proper meal anchors throughout the day. A consistent high protein breakfast, or a lunch you can batch cook and meal prep for the whole week. Maybe it's just getting rid of the junk food and leaving only healthy options in your house. These changes will make your life way easier, because fat loss is not about just trying to not eat. It's about once the food structure is less chaotic, the next fundamental is your muscle, because the scale can continue going down, but if you ignore your muscle, you'll end up hating the end result just as much as you hated the start. That is what happens when your only focus is eating less. For fat loss to actually work and make you look good, you need to protect your muscle while the weight comes down. That means protein. That means lifting. And it's easy to do. Things like a simple protein target help loads, because other than it being essential for muscle building and maintenance, it also makes meals more filling and it reduces your. All in all, the principle is simple. It's not just about losing weight. Lose fat while giving your body a reason to keep its muscle. It is important you understand that lifting belongs during the plan, not after you lose the weight. You do not start to lift when you start to think that you look fit. You lift so that when you lose the fat, there's something better to reveal underneath. The lifting really does not need to be fancy. And if you've got a packed schedule, it does not need to be time consuming either. I myself do 30 to 45 minute gym sessions. You can split it into 3 workout sessions, chest, back, and lower body. Do 2 sets for each exercise, 5 to 8 reps to failure, and just repeat. And no, you do not need to run on the treadmill for a whole hour. If you're worried about movement, literally just walk. Walk to the gym, walk to the store, get your steps in. The amount of cardio you do is not what defines your plan. Because remember that the point is not to burn yourself to the ground. It's just to spend more energy than your body uses at maintenance. A calorie target, protein target, fat, carbs, and you can also have a steps target. At a weekly weight, first thing in the morning, always weigh yourself and log it, and weekly check in to see the trend, not daily. That is it. Not because those are the only things that matter, but those are the core fundamentals that will have the most drastic effect on your journey. Do not worry about over optimizations and overloading yourself with information. It's all about the basics repeated consistently. That's the truth. Then if you see that your 7-day average, then if you see after a couple of weeks that your weight is barely moving, you can adjust. Or if you see that your weight is drastically moving, but you have no energy and you feel terrible, you adjust, increase the calories. It's really that simple. And if you don't know where to start with your meals or what to eat, I've got you covered on that as well. I have a free nutrition plan generator that is personalized to you. You just fill out a 60-second Q&A and it will generate your macros and will give you loads of meals that are easy to make so that you can cook them, store them, and have your nutrition locked in. So it's completely free. I've spent months building it. And if you want to get it, all you have to do is comment plan and I'll send it right over into your DMs.